Yo, it's a stupidly small podcast for Friday. Hooray, November. No, it's January 9. Why do I keep saying freaking November? Anyway, it's January 9, 2015. Yes. November was so 2014. I'm Stu Farrell. G'day, Lauren Clark.
Hey, Stu Farrell.
How are you today?
Ridiculous.
Do we ask that sort of stuff on a
No,
podcast?
we don't.
Nobody cares.
No.
Anyway, look, I want to hit you with the big ones early on, right?
Oh.
And it's the big question.
Yes.
And, you know, in a household.
Yeah.
Many people say you should share the housework, for instance. Some people are saying men should do dishes and all that sort of thing, right?
You're an idiot. You do the dishes. You're the most dishes-doing man I've ever met.
Yeah, that is true. That's why I just say dumb stuff. But there is one role in the house that is going to be mine and mine only for eternity.
Oh.
Yes. But I've realised only the past 2 weeks that I hate it.
Oh.
Hate it.
What is that?
It's painful. It hurts.
Yeah.
I suspect it could cause a heart attack.
Oh, Stuart.
Yes, and there are so many things wrong with it. And
are you being a martyr?
No, because I am the only.
Because you insist on it, or because
I am the only one capable of doing it.
Oh my God, what is it?
I'm telling you now. The other person who lives in my house, who's the opposite sex, says no. She won't do it. No, she can't do it.
To do with like reaching up and getting something, or
no, she can't. She doesn't refuse to. Can't do it
physically.
I
can't imagine what it is.
And I'll tell you then. Opening jars.
Oh my God!
It is the worst.
You have no idea what I was picturing. I was picturing like you guys have to lift like a boat through that.
That's right. We live at a yacht squadron.
I don't know what goes on behind closed doors at the Farrell house.
It's often so you know what? It's weird. If you say what goes on behind closed doors, it sounds dodgy. It could be the most beautiful thing ever, but it's behind a closed door. We could be high-fiving and just writing out checks to every charity on the planet, but it's behind a closed door. It makes it somewhat sort of seedy, doesn't it?
High-fiving and writing checks to every charity.
But do you understand what I mean? It's because it's behind a closed door.
Yeah. Seedy. You guys are gross.
Seedy, yes. But now, opening jars. It's true.
An idiot.
Think about it. Why is that throwing you so much?
Because how is opening jar going to cause you a heart attack?
Do you understand that strain that goes into
Stuart,
opening a jar?
Don't tell me you've worked in kitchens your whole life and you don't know how to open a jar. There's a trick to opening a jar.
Well, what, the wet tea towel?
No.
The hot
pop
water?
It with a knife.
You what?
Oh my God, I can't believe you don't know this. I'm going to go get a jar
Don't get
now.
a jar. You can show me after the podcast.
You pop it with a knife. It's not force, but every jar, even ones that have been opened and then closed again, if you get a little bit of air under the right thing, it goes pop, and then you go beautifully. It can be the most shut jar in the history of shut jars.
I don't think so.
No, you don't think so.
You can run them under hot water.
Because you've never done it before, so you don't know.
And there's a rubber mat you can buy. I used to have the rubber mat.
Oh, my God.
That you would give you great grip.
Great grip. You don't need grip. You need a butter knife. Slip it under there, go, and you're done. You just got to find the right place. Oh, my God, I can't believe you don't know this.
If this trick works, I will give you a hug
that has
next
ever
Monday.
happened to me, because you, A, think you're the king of the kitchen.
I don't.
Because you are actually very good in the kitchen and I'm terrible. So every time that I've ever seen you near a kitchen, I have backed right away.
Firstly, I'm holding a big knife.
Secondly,
yes,
you won't change. You won't believe anybody when they tell you something that you're about to learn.
Well, I believe you. I'm hoping it works, but
it's going to work. It's going to change your whole life.
Well, that's good, because opening jars has become the bane of my existence.
Well, if that's the bane of your existence, you're doing pretty well.
But you know why? But it's a bit dodgy. You know why? Because I do it behind closed doors. So I'm opening all these jars behind closed doors. It's really a bit...
It sounds like a euphemism all of a sudden.
Opening jars behind closed doors.
He opens jars behind closed doors, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Behind that closed door, he's probably opening a couple of jars. See, anything. That saying can make anything sound dodgy.
Yeah, totally.
You know who's behind the closed door? The Pope and the Dalai Lama.
Right.
And they're talking behind closed doors. Anyway. Hey, I was watching, I think I mentioned earlier in the week, I've been watching quite a few films.
Yes.
Last Sunday.
How's your book reading going? Anyway, watching a few films.
I'll tell you.
I'll ask you that later.
Give me a week.
Yeah, okay. I am going to chase you up on that, though, because I've been reading my brains out.
Yeah, but that's you normal.
No, this is me summer. This is
retraining.
Go, continue.
But and was watching this kookball thing. I think it was Sunday night, Channel 31.
Yeah.
With Brian Brown, someone else, Barry Goldsworthy. What's his name? The dancing instructor.
Barry Goldsworthy.
You know, his wife's the designer that wears the American Express dresses out.
Other people will know you're talking about, but I don't know.
Baz Luhrmann. Baz Luhrmann.
Oh, my God.
What?
I can't believe you were talking about Baz Luhrmann.
What? But anyway, Baz was in it
spectacular idiot.
playing
Yes.
a character. He had black hair.
Right.
And he was a young man. Anyway, it got me thinking, the worst thing about watching Australian films, like from the 70s and 80s, it's sort of heartbreaking because it shows you all the real estate opportunities you missed out on.
Oh,
Because
no.
he's Brian Brown, he's a writer or something, living in this massive apartment overlooking the bay.
Oh, my God.
Sydney Harbour, that's not called a bay, it's a harbour. You know what I mean? Like with these big windows and outdoor area.
Oh.
And like students are living all around, you know what I mean?
No. I saw a thing on social media today that was houses in Sydney versus properties in France, and you can get a castle. It's for $1 million.
Yeah.
Like you get a castle in the middle of France, and it is the most spectacular thing you've ever seen. And then there's cut to tiny little like 1-bedroom joint in like Hawke's Bay or something.
That's right. Well, a friend of mine bought a house in the south of France.
Outrageous.
For less than you can buy anything in this country.
Like bread and stuff.
I've got another question for you. Question you notice. All right.
Oh, God, I hate these. Yeah.
Now, it's sort of the opposite of cultural cringe, and it relates to the last question, or not question, but I was talking about the real estate and missed opportunities, because it is. You look at even Melbourne, shows about Melbourne, and you look at Fitzroy and the students and the big houses. And, God.
Yeah.
Brian Brown. Cultural cringe.
Yeah.
I'm not relating the two things.
Right.
But when was the last time you were proud to see an Aussie, or to see an Aussie on screen, or because now you go, oh God. But do you remember when Cocktail came out? And it was like a badge of honour. We had an Aussie in this big Hollywood film, and it was exotic.
Really
and
that,
it was what? Cocktail.
I was a bit young for that.
Tom Cruise, Brian
I know
Brown.
the movie, but I don't remember it coming out and that being a thing. I don't think I was quite there.
Oh, well, I remember it being, how cool is this? There's an Aussie in this film, and he's talking Aussie, and Aussie. I'm not saying the second part of that. And now it's like, oh, God.
Do you think it's just that you got older, though? I think it might be.
Oh, so you're saying young kid, 15, that goes and sees the latest epic about Egypt.
Thingo with Sam Worthington or whatever.
Yeah, Sam Worthington's playing the Pharaoh or whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
You think that he'd be proud, that's our Aussie Sam?
Maybe.
Oh, well, it just wasn't such a big thing then.
Yeah, I know that's true.
Aussies in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Wasn't a thing.
No.
I mean, we had Errol Flynn, I suppose. What other Aussies really made it, though?
Well, your mate, Crocodile Dundee.
Paul Hogan, Hoax. Yeah. And that was...
Like when I went to the States and lived there in 99, I was still referred to as, like that was still a cultural reference over there.
So you're still
Aussies.
exotic? But there's nothing more tragic now than seeing Aussies overseas in 2015. Not that either have been overseas in the last 9 days.
Yeah.
But it's tragic to see Aussies that aren't maybe as aware of the world thinking that they're exotic creatures walking the streets of Manhattan or Paris or something, thinking that we're Australian. Like when people are supposed to be taken aback and think it's fantastic.
Cringe. You're having a massive cultural cringe.
So are you saying I suffer from it?
I was reading Amy Poehler's book. I've been reading that as a Christmas present for me, and I've been reading it. And in it, she says that she's talking about all the people that hosted SNL, Saturday Night Live, and she said, this person did this guy came up and said this woman was hilarious and helped me with this or whatever. And she says Hugh Jackman was lovely, and he got everybody on the cast a case of Foster's. And she was like, so he was the best. And I was like, how dare he? Like, it just seemed like such an act of cultural betrayal.
Wouldn't you go, the case of Cooper's?
Wouldn't you just go, yeah, look, hey, here's a good Australian beer. Here's what we actually...
Yeah, but when was this, 1995?
Probably.
Maybe still, like you're exotic in 99. Maybe Hugh was still... He was new then. I don't know.
He wasn't ready to redefine the cultural stereotype. He wanted to
it needs one, though.
play to it.
But what would we be? What would be the new... What could we create as the new stereotype? Do you create a stereotype? You just keep doing things over and over and over until it becomes type.
Yeah.
So what would it be?
Well, we'd have to think of something new.
Yeah, well, maybe that's a job for the weekend. If we can't come up with the new Australian stereotype for Monday morning, I'll go he.
Really?
Yes.
No, it's the hot topic that we should steer well clear of, in my opinion.
We'll see.
All right.
Hey, don't forget, you can still contact us. We're starting to emerge out of our slumbers.
Yes, we are.
So hit us up at Stupidly Big on Twitter.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/stupidlybig. Follow us and do all that business because it's fun. It is hilarious.
And also, you just
really.
never know what goes on behind closed doors.
And why don't you email us? Oh, you shut that door. Big and stupid at stupidlybig.com. LC, got any bins?
It's Friday. Do I have bins? Bin night in Reservoir. Of course it is. It's every goddamn day. And sections of Reservoir.
It really is.
Well, it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Oh.
Sunday. It is bin night on Sunday in Northcote, Panton Hill, unless you live on the main road. Barwon Heads, St Andrews, and Western Creek in Canberra. Thanks everybody for getting in contact about your bins, and don't forget to take them back in again.
Yeah, or else. See you next week.
Bye bye.